Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Munce Report. Well, it's week 3 of the Queensland Winter Racing Carnival. Arrives at Eagle Farm on Saturday, the return of Eagle Farm, and Munce Racing has talented 3-year-old Smart Meteor contesting the Group 3 Gunsim Classic over 1800 metres. And welcome, Chris. Straight off the bat, I understand you wound back the clock this week, mate. You hopped aboard one of Gay Waterhouse's that you're housing at your stables up for the Winter Carnival, and that was in a course proper gallop alongside Smart Meteor ahead of Saturday.
Yeah, g'day Adam. Yeah, no, it was Tuesday morning. We were lucky enough to be able to gallop on the course proper with the horses nominated for this weekend, and it just actually timed. The timing was good to be able to match one of Gay's with Smart Meteor, and they both had a good gallop on the course proper, stretched their legs, and come through it in good order.
And for those that don't know, obviously your relationship with Gay dates back many years from your riding days, and good to see you've still got a good relationship there, and she's chosen to house her horses with you over the carnival.
Yeah, well, look, we still talk, quite regularly. She's always been very, to me, she's always been very good, and we've always sort of gone along very, very well. So when she asked if we had a stable for her to come up over the Winter Carnival, we certainly had no hesitation in finding one for her. And there's a couple more coming up towards the end of the week, and it'd be good to see how they measure up.
And how was the work? Not so much of Gay's. We don't expect you to lift the lid there. We'll leave that for her. But you worked alongside Smart Meteor with one of her gallopers. How did Smart Meteor gallop in preparation for Saturday?
I thought he went very well. It was a good solid gallop over 1200 metres there, and I thought the best part of his work was how much he quickened up from the 400 on. He really let go quite well, quite sharp. So it was very encouraging going to the 1800. We know he has got a good turn of foot, which I think is an asset for him over the longer trips when a lot of horses will be just grinding away. He does have a bit of a good turn of acceleration. So hopefully he can use that on Saturday.
And he was one of the few runners in the Daybreak Lover to make ground from back in the field. So what did you make of that run, knowing that obviously it was a stepping stone towards this race? How did you assess that last run?
I thought it was very good. He'd had a bit of time off between runs. He'd had a month between runs, and in between that, he'd also had a little setback, a little hoof setback, which was nothing major, but we had to get on top of it. And these little things, they all add up. And I thought his run overall, as you said, to come from where he did in a very slowly run race, it was pace dominated. To finish off was a terrific effort.
Okay, well, exciting times, exciting group of connections there, and as you say, he's raced well over this distance, so you'd think the 1800 would be right up his alley on Saturday.
Oh, he'll certainly relish the 1800, and then obviously he'll be looking forward to the 2000, the 2200 after that as well. He won't have any hesitation running that sort of a trip. So I really think he's just beginning to come into a bit of peak fitness, this horse. He's had the 3 or 4 runs now back, but he's sort of been a little bit, not interrupted, but I've had to space his runs looking forward to these to this Winter Carnival. And I think his timing's just coming into it really nicely.
Very good. Well, he's obviously the focus for Eagle Farm on Saturday. You've also got another runner on the program, Zukara, who lines up in a benchmark 72 over 1400 metres. What did you make of her last run? Similar sort of grade, and she sort of finished midfield.
Yeah, I think she was beaten by the rail being where it was, and Wigo, unfortunately, we had to ride her to the bias of the track with the rail at 10 metres, which I think probably brought her undoing with a big weight on her back. She just really didn't let go like I'd had hoped. But I think she's a quirky filly. I think she's the sort of filly that we've just got to leave alone. And if that means that she's got to be back last, well, so be it. I just think that's her style of racing. I think we've tried to put her up on the speed in races to utilise barriers and to overcome bias, but I think that's to her detriment. So it's a very, very strong race on Saturday. It's a very open field and a very, very hard race. So I think we'll go in there with an open mind, and I'll be just instructing Ryan to let her find her feet on Saturday and travel wherever she's comfortable, whether that be last or whether that be sort of midfield or wherever. And hopefully she can finish off nicely from there for us.
Yeah, okay. Well, good luck to the connections there as well. Just finally, before we move on to the Ipswich meeting, so that wraps up the Eagle Farm preview. What did you make of how did the course proper feel when you were aboard the Gay's horse on Tuesday?
thought it actually rode quite well. Compared to the last time I galloped on it before, it actually felt like it was a bit of give in it, which was nice. I think the horses appreciate it. Obviously, it was only 2 horses going over it though, so it'll be interesting to see how it holds up with a full field of gallopers going over top of it. But actually, to ride on it actually didn't feel too bad on the back of a horse.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see, and obviously everyone wants to see the track performing. So fingers crossed for Saturday. The stable also has a number of runners headed to Ipswich on Sunday. So let's take a look at their chances. Sakura Star contests a 2-year-old maiden over 1200 with Steph Thornton aboard in the Eureka Stud colours.
Yeah, well, she finally draws a good barrier. She's been plagued by bad barriers the first 2 runs, and I thought she's raced very, very well both times. So on Sunday, she goes to Ipswich. Good barrier. Hopefully the track's not too wet because she's untried on the wet, so we don't know if she's going to be able to handle it or not. But she's a nice filly with good ability, and she's actually handling her racing very, very well. So she's a quality filly. I'm sure that's going to win her fair share of races.
Okay, interested to see how she goes. Miss Magnolia also entered in a maiden plate over 1200 metres, and she was a better run last start. Did you think?
Yeah, much better. Yeah, tongue tie on. She seemed to settle in nicely just behind the speed, but I like the way she still battled on and finished a race off very well compared to the previous efforts where she showed speed and weakened out of it. So I thought her run last start with a tongue tie was very encouraging, and the fact that she's drawn well also gives her a bit of an advantage there on Sunday.
Okay, the next runner is the Golden Bear, who steps up to a more suitable 1700 metres here in a Class 1 handicap. That's fair to say. He'll relish that extra distance on Sunday.
Yeah, he sure will. I mean, he's had a couple of runs back now just to tighten him up, and the rail out 11 metres. I'm not sure if that's going to be positive or negative, but same deal with him. Hopefully we don't get too much rain. I don't think he's a real wet tracker, but a bit of give out of it certainly won't hurt his chances at all. He'll be on the speed there somewhere, and hopefully he can get away with the race.
And are you getting any push from the owner as far as the riding instructions go there? He's obviously owned by Shane Dye. Many people may not know that, but any push from the owner?
No, I've got to say he's very easy to train for, Dye. There's no stress. He just lets you do what you want to do, and so long as you can tell him how the horse is going when they go to the race, he's quite happy. So he's very, very easy to train for.
Yeah, very good. Another horse stepping up in trip is Galvarino. He backs up after finishing 6th over the 2070 metres last start. What are your thoughts on him stepping up in trip to the 2200?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I thought his run the other day over the 2050 at Doomben in an open 3-year-old was very good. He only got beaten 3 lengths, and I thought it was an encouraging run. So he's also nominated for a Class 1 1800 at Caloundra on the Wednesday, which is an option as well. But the weather probably will determine where we go. He doesn't like the wet. So obviously if we do get a lot, Caloundra is going to be probably worse off than what Ipswich is. So we just got to probably play it by ear. But if he does run in Ipswich, he'll be in a good forward competitive spot throughout, and certainly we'll see if he can stay or not. That'll be the main aim of Sunday's event.
Yep, very good. And the final runner for the weekend is Spirit Esprit. What are your thoughts on him heading into this? Drops back slightly in trip to the 1350.
Yeah, he does, and probably back in grade a little bit too. So obviously he's, in my opinion, he's a horse. He does appreciate the soft, so he'll run if there is soft track. I think he appreciates that. I thought the other day at the Gold Coast he had a big weight on his back on a hard track, and I just felt that he didn't want to let go the first half of the race, but certainly he still finished off well under the circumstances with a big weight on his back. So I think Sunday it looks a nice race for him, and as long as he doesn't get pratted too wide and have to make too long a run, he should be figuring right in the finish there somewhere.
Very good. Yeah, well, let's hope he can unleash his customary sort of fast finish there. He's developed a bit of a habit there. So let's hope that the track plays evenly on Sunday at Ipswich.
Yeah, well, that's what he needs. He certainly gets home quick, and if Larry can get the right sort of run, he definitely will be getting home hard.
Very good, mate. All right. Well, another weekend with another runner in a group race. So best of luck to yourself and Connections, and let's hope we're talking about what's next in store for Smart Media after a good performance on Saturday.
Good on you. Thanks, Adam.